Happy almost 2020. I cannot believe that. And maybe you're watching this video in 2020. Let me know in the comments below. But I cannot believe that 2019 has come and gone. And I wanted to make a video about, you guessed it, YouTube, because I've learned a lot in the last year and I've really exceeded my expectations when it came to growth and a lot of the metrics that people care about on this platform. And in the midst of all of that, we've experimented a lot on this channel, and I'm so grateful that the feedback has been awesome and you are enjoying it. So if you wanted to learn my biggest lessons of 2019 when it comes to YouTube so you can use them to catapult your own growth in 2020, that's what we're gonna dive into in this video today. So first lesson, this is a biggie. If you're not paying attention to your analytics, you are not going to grow. So I made this video on the important analytics on YouTube and how to measure them for yourself, and I highly recommend you check it out. Here's a little clip from that video to give you an idea of which metrics actually matter. Do analytics in YouTube Studio Beta, which is just on the left-hand side here, and you want to scroll down into your top videos. So you want to click on this, and it is really interesting to see the analytics that are weighted here because it tells you a lot about what YouTube values. So you can see it gives you impressions, click-through rate, so the CTR as we just talked about, the views, the average view duration, and the watch time of your top performing videos. Lesson number 8, go back to the basics. So funny enough, I have done all different kinds of videos over my 4 years on YouTube. I have shot in multi-million-dollar studios. I have shot in my tiny little shoebox apartment. I have shot in this office in my new apartment. I've shot in so many different places over the years, and I've done so many different styles of videos, and I've had a full crew down to me solo and everything in between. And this year, I really drew it back to the basics and realized that YouTube is about you. And again, it's called YouTube for a reason, because people care about you and you have to double down on your own unique strengths. I am not a cinematographer. I am not a filmmaker. I am not somebody who is going to all of a sudden switch into becoming this crazy video editor. What I am is I'm an educator and I love to help people. And so I'm doubling down on that strength because that's what I know works best for my audience and comes most naturally to me. And that's my unique gift and strength. So I think the big thing for me was realizing that you don't need the fancy camera. You don't even need a camera at all. If you have a phone, you can get started with that. You don't have to go crazy with equipment or bells and whistles to get started on YouTube. I started with a window, a webcam, and a stack of books as my tripod, and that grew me to 50,000 subscribers. So if you're feeling like you want to start on YouTube, but you're getting held back by not having all the things you need, take it from me, you don't need them. One of my most popular videos of this last year was this video, ironically, and it's called Stop Watching YouTube Videos, and it is completely unedited, completely raw. I shot it myself, and you guys loved it. And I think it's because it was real, it was raw, it was authentic. And we're in this new wave of social media, thank goodness, where I think we really are drawing back to basics and we want to relate to real human beings. We don't necessarily want to relate to perfection or to bells and whistles. We want raw, real, and authentic. So being yourself is perfect. Experimenting, always. I have failed a million times, doing a million different things. But without every single one of those failures, I wouldn't be where I am today. And what happens is you create something that I like to call risk tolerance. So when I first started my business, even investing like $50 into something towards my business was terrifying to me. Lesson number 7, watch time is everything. Watch time over views, watch time over subscribers, watch time over everything on this platform. And I think this is just a trend we've seen across social media platforms, is that they want to keep you on the platform because that way they make more money from advertisers. So watch time is everything. And if you aren't paying attention to your retention on your videos and how long people are actually watching, you're not going to be able to grow your watch time on your channel. And if you're not relating your videos to each other, we call it the spiderweb strategy, so that one video leads into the next, or you're not leveraging playlists on your channel, you're not going to be able to grow. So I made a whole video about increasing your watch time so you can get to those 4,000 hours if you're not there yet, and help you get monetized on your channel. You can check out that video right here. But understand that watch time is king, and keeping people on the platform is king. So there are a lot of tricks for you to be able to leverage to do that. And like I said, you can check that all out in this video, but watch time, over everything. And you're trying to figure out how to do this and you don't quite have all that data to look at, here's the thing to do. If you're in a specific space or a specific niche, you want to focus on breaking your niche or your category down into tactics and get super, super tactical. Lesson number 6, keywords matter. I know I've said this a lot, but they do. They really, really matter. Why do they matter so much? Because you have to remember that YouTube is a machine. Every social platform is a machine and it's run by a machine. And I always like to say that YouTube is an art and it's a science, but the science really drives the data that you need to inform your growth so that you can leverage your own unique creativity and as an artist as well. So the science behind it and why that's so important on YouTube and paying attention to the keywords is because YouTube likes to know where to categorize you. And if you don't give YouTube the information for where they can categorize you, they don't know where to put you. And if you think about the fact that 400 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every single minute, YouTube as a machine needs to be able to organize all those videos into pockets or categories or niches in order for them to push you in suggested results or in search results, which is the majority of your traffic and where your traffic is coming from for your videos. So you need to make it really easy for YouTube to categorize you. How do you do this? You need to pay attention to your analytics, like I said. You need to pay attention to the keywords and the video topics that perform better for you with higher views and velocity. You need to pay attention to niches that you mention on your channel that tend to outperform other categories or topics that you've talked about. And this doesn't matter if you're doing an educational channel, an inspirational channel, or an entertainment-based channel. You will find that there are key trends. And when you see the trends of videos that outperform other videos, pay close attention. How are people searching for that video? Where is the traffic coming from? What suggested videos are driving traffic to it? What kind of topics did you do related to that topic so you could double down and accelerate your growth on your channel? So paying close attention to keywords and the keywords that work on your channel is going to help YouTube categorize you because YouTube is a keyword-based platform. And once they see that you have success with one keyword or one topic, they're gonna actually favor you with that keyword and topic and push it more in suggested and search results because they want you to own one specific thing. So paying attention to keywords and what works for your channel is so vitally important. Lesson number 5, listen to your audience. So yes, the data and yes, the metrics and yes, the analytics are important, but I always say there's qualitative and there's quantitative feedback on YouTube. And the qualitative feedback is just as important. And what I mean by that is you. So I look at the comments on every single video and I pay attention to what you want to see, the questions that you're asking. And a lot of my most popular video content comes from comments from you. So if you're just starting your channel and you're just starting to get comments on your videos, pay close attention because those early adopters on your channel, those people who are the first viewers and subscribers, those are your ride or dies. Those are the people that you really want to cater your content to. So pay attention to what they want, what they like, what they don't like, and use it to your advantage to create more video content that you know is going to cater to them because they're going to be more likely to like, comment, and share it with a bigger audience so that you can grow your audience faster on YouTube. Lesson number 4, and I know you're probably gonna be like, ugh, I've heard this before, but views and subscribers aren't everything. I actually made a video on how much YouTube pays me for 100,000 views, and you check it out here, and you'll see in that video that the views really don't matter to how much you make, and they also don't matter to so many other things. They really are a vanity metric, and the biggest thing that you want from your channel is loyalty. There are some small channels that have the most loyal followings, and they're able to build a business off of YouTube or on YouTube, even with AdSense, a heck of a lot faster than big channels with really, really low loyalty or engagement from their audience. So having a big audience doesn't mean that you've made it on YouTube. Having a small, engaged audience that actually gives about your content, that means you've made it on YouTube. And that audience of 1,000 true fans, if you haven't read that article, I talk about it all the time, I'll link to it below. If you haven't read it, read it, because it really talks about the fact that you don't need millions of fans. You need 1,000 true fans who are actually engaged in your content and care about you and what you're talking about. And those 1,000 true fans will scale and multiply themselves because you built your ambassadors for your channel. So views and subscribers don't matter. Loyalty matters. You target your content more specifically, the more money you're gonna make. And I know you're probably sick of hearing that, but the more niched down you are, the more money you can make because it makes it easier for advertisers to know what kind of channel you have, and those advertisers are gonna be more likely to run their ads on your content. Lesson number 3, this is big. your CTR really, really matters. Your click-through rate is really important. It's become more important in the last year because there's more competition than ever on YouTube, but it doesn't mean you can't win. We have clients who are starting from zero who are already generating thousands of dollars every single month from their channels because they're paying attention to what actually matters. We call them the metrics that matter. And your CTR is one of those metrics. So how do you increase your click-through rate on your videos? It comes down to really three things: your thumbnail, your title of your video, and your first line of your description, because those are the only things that people are gonna see when your video pops up in suggested or in search results. So paying attention to those and paying attention to what works on your channel, which thumbnails get the most clicks, what do your competitors' thumbnails look like, or what are their videos doing that differently that get the most clicks on them or views on them. That is really, really important because you need to stand out as just those three factors before anyone can even watch your video. So if you're not really focusing on your CTR, then people aren't even getting to watch your video. They're just seeing you come up, but they're bored by your thumbnail, your title, your description, so they're not even clicking to give you a view or a new subscriber. So you really, really need to hone in on your CTR and figure out what works best for your channel. Lesson number 2 is build your own audience. And you know that I say this a lot. In order to be your own boss, you got to build your own audience. And what I mean by that is that if you are only building your audience on YouTube, or you're only building your audience on Instagram, or you're only building your audience on Facebook, and you're not building an email list, you are screwing yourself. And I know that you're probably watching this being like, Sunny, you've said this 5 million times and I still haven't done it. Why? I just need to hammer this point home because you don't own the algorithms. You don't own social platforms. They are run by businesses and they can make changes whenever the hell they want, and your content could go from being seen by millions or even thousands or hundreds of people to being seen by nobody. So you need to build your own audience off of the platform in order to be truly successful, so that you have a built-in audience for your content that you own, and you don't have to hope that the algorithm is going to show you to your audience and to your subscribers, because we all know that just because you have subscribers on YouTube doesn't mean that all of those subscribers are actually seeing your content when you publish it. So building your own audience is freaking vital. Give me a yes in the comment if you're actually gonna build your own audience soon, please, for the love of God. And the final lesson of 2019 on YouTube, please, 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 don't try to be anyone else. They're already taken. Be yourself. I made a video about winning on YouTube. You can check it out right here. And I dive deep into my own journey when it comes to YouTube and what I've found to work best for me, which is kind of what I mentioned when I was talking about lesson number 9, which is we all as individual people, your biggest differentiating factor in a very noisy world of social media right now is that no one else is you. That's your biggest gift. That's your biggest unfair advantage. That is your biggest differentiating factor. So stop trying to edit like this person or film like that person or speak like this person. They're not you and you are not them, and that is a gift. The more that you hone in on your own unique individuality, your own unique gifts, and your own unique traits, the more you stand out. So if I could give you one big lesson of this last year, it's that be yourself. And I know that's easier said than done, but just ask your friends, family, listen to the comments. What are the things that people really love and gravitate towards you with? What are those traits? And use them, double down on them, and go nuts. And I gave this example before, but mine was my curly hair. I hid my curly hair for the first 3 years of building my YouTube channel because I really hated it and I thought that it was ugly. And now I've just like let it fly and I feel so much more comfortable. I feel so much more like myself, and that sounds superficial, but maybe you have something really little that you could change even physically to get back to your roots, truly get back to your roots and be more of yourself. That is going to be a magnet for your audience on YouTube. And here's the thing, there is still time to build your YouTube channel, and there is an audience truly for every single person out there. So if you want to start on YouTube, no, it's not too late, but you can only stand out if you are yourself. So if you really want to build your YouTube channel, if you really want to get serious about this, we have a whole playlist right here on how to grow and succeed using YouTube. We call it the YouTube Business Bootcamp. Make sure you check that out, and make sure that you go to our bossYouTubeStrategy.com, and it's my masterclass on how to 100 extra subscribers and double your revenue in the next year using YouTube. If you like this, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year! I can't believe it. And I will see you next year. Crazy.